Luke Fickell is the head coach at Cincinnati. He joins us now. Coach, how's morale on campus today?
It's pretty good. I think we had meetings this morning, and it wasn't really brought up or talked about. But I'm not saying they don't understand and they don't know. But outside of our offices, I'm not really sure how the community out there is really feeling.
Okay, but let's try to figure out what the reasoning is, because you're going to have to. Your kids are going to want to know. You know, that boosters, fans, they're going to want to know, like, why are we on the outside looking in? You've done everything that you're supposed to do, even though you had a close game against Navy and maybe you didn't dominate Tulane the way you should, or whatever their reasoning is. So why do you think you guys are sixth right now?
That's what I leave to you guys. You guys do a lot better job at talking about it and giving maybe ideas and reasons and things like that. For us within the program, it's really difficult to spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out exactly why. Like you said, I heard you before, this is the first ranking. It's not the last one. There's a lot of games to be played. We got a lot of work to still continue to do. I think there's still a lot of opportunities. So where it does generate a buzz, I think that's the biggest thing about college football is the talk in the last 6 weeks of the season creates a lot of energy. So I kind of, for us in our program, I said, guys, let's leave it to the experts out there to figure out as to why and project who might be, and let's just try to handle our own business.
What did you think of my reasoning that maybe they left you out because they don't want you to stay in, you go undefeated, and then they have no reason to take you out?
Maybe a good idea. I think that it gives them a little flexibility and a little leeway. I don't know exactly who makes all these decisions. I think they do look down the stretch and see, hey, they've got some really good games coming up. If they get into a championship game, obviously it would be another ranked team. So I think that gives you some abilities, and they also know what other people are playing. So I don't know if they really look that far and strategize, or do they just throw things out there to create a little bit more of a buzz and something to talk about. I'm not sure.
And I'm wondering about this because I've said this before. It's not like Cincinnati is a great football program, but you've had pockets there. You've certainly done a great job, but you got to go play somebody. You're not going to get these big schools are going to go, we're going to go to Cincinnati and play you. You said, we'll play anybody anywhere. We'll go to Notre Dame. We don't care. Who have you tried to schedule? You just can't get them on the schedule.
I don't know. To be honest with you, this is year 5. And truly for the first 3.5 years, I said, guys, you do whatever you want. I'm not worried about the scheduling. I've got to do we got a lot of work to do to start before we start worrying about the scheduling. I think last year was the first year they even started to ask about some scheduling stuff that I wanted to even talk about. And I don't know, who they've reached out to and different things like that. I know that going into the season, having Notre Dame, having Indiana on the schedule, 2 top 10 ranked teams, was something that, not only excited us, but, for the talking heads gave them an opportunity to say, hey, if they have any chance, at least they've got some top 10 teams already on their schedule.
Should we look for style points in college football? That it's not just winning. In the NFL, you just win. In college football, it's, well, you won, but.
I think obviously in the NFL, there's a lot more parity. That's the way the thing is designed to be. College football, I'd say there's not nearly as much parity, but it comes down to a lot more of not just who the best teams are, it's who's playing the best. And each and every week, I think that's, for me, what we try to evaluate. And I think the great thing that they will do in college football, and I think they have done, and I think they get it from the basketball side of things, is let's really try to hone in on these last 5 weeks and say, as that stretch goes, who's playing the best football? Because ultimately we gotta find the right, if it's 4, if it's 6, if it's 8, however many they end up going to. Obviously this year it's 4. We need to find the 4 teams that we believe are playing the best football in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I pointed this out to the audience earlier in the show. You'll play anybody. You played Georgia, but that was in a bowl game, and you guys should have won that game. I thought you guys were the better team there. So it's not one of those where they go, there's a big drop-off between Georgia and Cincinnati. And I said, not as much as you think, because you got a talented quarterback. You got a couple of guys on defense who are going to play in the NFL. How did you feel after that game against Georgia as far as talent to talent matching up with one of the best in the country?
Well, obviously, I think the game dictated a lot of that. I think we gained some confidence, I think, in how we can match up. not saying that we didn't have some opportunities. Last year was a unique year that you didn't really play too many out of conference games to kind of find out maybe where you are sometimes going into your, conference season. But I think what it made a lot of people recognize is you can't hang with the blue bloods, the top 5, the top 10, if you don't have legitimately some time. You can play some good football and you can keep some games close, but to truly, truly have a chance to beat those top 5 programs in the country, you got to have some talent of your own. You've got to have a dynamic quarterback. You got to be able to play some, complementary football. And I think, to me, as people continue to watch, I think that's what I want them to see from, our program and what we are is, yeah, we might not have all the stars that Georgia has or Alabama has, but, it's a lot about development. And you see these 3, 4, 5th year guys that are playing really good football and have a lot of opportunities to even play at the next level.
Well, are you going to say anything to the kids today? Does this topic come up?
You know what? I mean, at the end of practice, we'll make sure we bring it up. And I'm one of those guys that, didn't watch the show. I went to my radio show last night and still had no idea. It was 8:00 radio show. I had no idea, had not seen any of the results, had not heard about it, didn't want to know. But I also don't want to bury my head in the sand because I know our kids, it matters and it means something too. So we try to find a way that, hey, we're going to make sure we're not ignoring what's going on, but hey, how can we use it to continue to motivate us?
And you may get more publicity, Coach, by being 6th instead of 4. Like almost positive publicity, like, oh my gosh, if you were 4, you'd have a lot of people say, oh, they don't deserve to be 4. But when you're 6, it's like you don't deserve to be 6, you're getting screwed.
So I guess you got to find a way that it benefits you the most. And I think when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds, it's 90% psychological. And you say, okay, now with whatever happened there, how do we kind of frame it and make sure our guys understand that we got to use this in the best way possible?
Do you have your standard response when you're asked about other job openings?
Pretty much do, yeah.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it. So, Coach, your former athletic director is at USC, and you interested in that job opening?
It's a great tribute to our players. I tell you what they've done on the football field has given us all opportunities. We got plenty of young guys that are getting calls as juniors to leave early, and that's because of the people that are around them, how they've developed. So when we look at it, when people bring those things up, whether it's me or our coordinators, we say, hey, it's all because of the program, the team, and what they've done.
All right, let's go around the room. How did Coach do with that? Paulie?
Guys, we like it. He credited the players and went right to the players. That's original.
Yeah, but it's a distraction. He's trying to take it away from him, put it on the kids.
Oh.
Seton, what did you think of Coach?
I thought it was well played. Well done.
Okay. McLevin?
You remember,
Yeah, Coach.
I coached for Jim Tressel for 10 years, and there's nobody that was better at finding a way around questions and diverting him and making sure he could say what he really wanted to say. I did learn a little bit from him.
Yes, McLevin.
Yeah, sign me up to play. Do you need a backup punter, Coach? Because I'm in.
You don't know where you're going. Are you going to Cincinnati or are you going to Los Angeles? Yes, Todd.
That was remarkably vague and smooth and classy. Loved it.
If you win the national title, I'll come back. I'll be in the parade there, Coach.
I appreciate it. We will have you for sure.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right, Dan. Thank you.
That's Luke Fickell, Cincinnati head coach. They got Tulsa coming up. Don't sleep on Houston.